I know I'm late, but that's okay. Today, I wanted to kind of go over Cosmic Desktop. We briefly got like the first impressions on the last stream where we installed it, we got it going, and then I've been using it. Now, I left the last stream saying this possibly is the best desktop environment ever made in Linux. And it's only alpha. Do I still say that? Yeah, maybe. The cracks are starting to show a little bit. That first, honeymoon stage is starting to come to an end. But it's a very solid attempt. For alpha, it's really kind of amazing. So, of course, before I hit the start streaming button, I decided to do an entire system update. That's what you're seeing in the background. Because, as one does, I never like to make my life easy. And I kind of wanted to update everybody on Cosmic. Now, overall, I still think the bones here and what they're doing and how they're structuring it and how all the menus and everything's laid out is still number one in my eyes. I think that's amazing. However, there are some bugs as it's alpha. It's not in full release, and I think probably a year away before full release or something around that. Obviously, still got to go through beta and then probably see full release sometime in 2025. I would be a betting man. And yeah, I'm seeing some crashes here and there. The big things that I've seen is mostly graphical issues. Imagine that, a desktop environment with graphical issues and some bugs. If I needed to get work done and I was a businessman, would I use it? Absolutely not. Obviously, you don't use alpha for a business or something that you need a reliable standout. I'm always like, Xorg with DWM is the most solid experience in the world, and I would still say that. It's not like, hey, this has been all grave. Now, all gravy. It's been like a good example of this, because I don't want to just be like, well, this is bad, this is good. I want to be real specific on things I've had issues with. That way, if somebody who says, hey, Cosmic, what, Titus here, because there's a lot of, usually you see this in whenever someone's tearing a project down or building a project up, they just get behind the hype. They just get behind the hype and like, this is the best thing ever because my favorite YouTuber said it's the best thing ever. Or they say, this is the worst thing ever. It's trash because a guy I follow on Twitter says it's trash. And I want to be real specific on the things I have issues with. So hopefully these go away. And if you're watching this, months in the future, it should be gone. Should be fixed. And if it's not, what the hell are they doing? So first up, before I started the stream, actually, let's go over here. I still edit everything in GIMP. So this is how I create all my thumbnails. The first thing I usually do is, let's just open recent. We're going to open up cosmic.xfc. This will be the thumbnail that you'll see in the future on this guy. Couple things. In like DWM, what I like to do is pull up my file browser over here, and then I'm like, yeah, let's come over to video production, headshots, in headshots, let's just pull something. How I usually do headshots is I do like a simple recording, and then I just take a bunch of pictures, feed it through Rim RPG, and then I just go, oh, you know what? Let's bring that up a little bit. Then I'll go through and just grab something. I grabbed that one for this, but usually I'll just do a drag and drop. Just drag and drop. But that's not working. So downside to that, no drag and drop capabilities for some applications. Now in DWM, this would work fine. So that was a kind of a bummer. So I was like, oh man. And then I noticed sometimes it would crash on me. So usually how I do my thumbnails too is, let's say we are in and this might just be all GIMP specific, but usually I'm sitting here adjusting a curve. Usually a curve is like that, and then you kind of highlight everything so it like pops off the page. And then it just crashes sometimes. So I don't know what's up with that. Like usually if I start with that, it's fine, but maybe these are GIMP specific. I wish I had a dump to give and make a bug report about this. So kind of a bummer. And I don't know who to point fingers at there. Obviously with DWM, it just works. Cosmic, not so much. In Hyperland, I don't think I had any issues either. So I think it's something that Cosmic's team's doing there with GIMP, specifically when doing multiple edits in the curve page. I noticed some issues. The second thing here and these are going to be super hyper specific, very, very hyper specific here. And it could be that I'm on Cosmic tiling, and maybe in floating that wouldn't happen as much. I don't know on that. So, and I honestly, I see chat going crazy about GIMP. I love GIMP. It's something I've adjusted to, and I like it because it's just agnostic. I can use it on any OS, whether it's Mac, Windows, Linux. GIMP works the same on pretty much all of them, and it's a solid editor if you can get used to it. Most people can't. Most people need Photoshop, and I get it. I would prefer people transition to like Affinity. Affinity still works like garbage in every version of Linux I've tried. I've done Elemental Warriors wine workarounds and got it kind of working, but it was super jank, and I was like, nah, just use Windows if that's your jam. So, or PhotoP. PhotoP is actually not bad. Get online, free. So that's that bug that I've experienced. The next thing I'm seeing is probably Lutris. I've noticed almost everything in here just doesn't work for me. So like when I'm doing like BattleNet, right? And I hit play. Sometimes the menu there's a little bit of lag here, I guess. And I'm noticing the bar at the top, it's not really grabbing it, and I think putting it in a tray. So I don't know what's happening here. And maybe if we go like floating and just kind of a little bit odd behavior here. But it crashed again. So let's just hit play again. This time we're going to try floating. And this could be a floating tiling thing. I don't know. But I have noticed there, and then it just crashes. So I can't quite get that. I can't read why that's working. I know in DWM, again, it just works. And Hyperland's kind of been a hit and miss too. So some things that I'm showing here does work in Hyperland, and for the alpha, I think I'm coming to an end on it. Overall, though, I am really impressed. I love a lot of the flying around, the settings, a lot of this integration I think is very good. Just a couple bugs here, and I think most of the time, most of this should get fixed by a final release. And the customization has been sufficient for me, where I've been able to change all the stuff I wanted to change and get it to feel how I want it to feel. So to me, if Cosmic didn't have these bugs today, I would daily drive it forever. Now, the one thing that stopped me from using Hyperland before is the synergy type setup. And in the past stream, I kind of showcased this a little bit. And it's The project I got is in its infancy, but it works. And what I've been using to kind of go between and replace Synergy on Wayland, this was a huge win for me, was Landmouse. This has worked pretty well. The developers or the contributors behind it have been mostly Linux guys. I can tell they don't have many people real familiar with Windows, because I had to pretty much build everything from scratch on Windows to get it working through like a services on startup launch. Not the worst thing in the world, but I'm real familiar with Windows and I was able to do that. Maybe I can do some kind of contribution to help them out on the Windows side of things, but I want to give everybody an update. This does work on Wayland, and everything is set to when I'm in Cosmic, it automatically switches between everything, and it is fantastic. So Landmouse is my replacement. That means I could theoretically switch to Hyperland and still be doing good. Scripting is a sickness. It's awesome, man. Okay, let me check it out. Tech Zero. Let's see what your script is here. Do we have Chatterino? I haven't even tried to launch it yet. Let's bring that Thailand back. Bring that sweet Thailand. Let's just do that. Yeah. Let's let me add my account. Every 30 days you got to do this. It's kind of annoying, but you know, it's okay. Authorize. Okie doke. And we're back. So let me grab your script here. Let's take a look at your Cosmic script, Cosmic install script. You're already writing it up for old Arch Linux. That's awesome, man. Let me see if I can't pull it up. How are you doing it, I wonder? You doing it through Whiptail? That's what it kind of looks like from that installer. Let me see if I can't find the actual script itself so we could look at the code. So I always looking at other people's code, especially on the scripts. Is that going to be it? No. Oh yeah, one thing I meant to mention on the Landmouse too, it is all unsecured and unencrypted. So very much rudimentary, and you should not probably use this you should not use this on any public network. This is just for home personal networks that are not open. Really important to know about Landmouse. Different in Synergy that way. The other downside to Landmouse is there's no clipboard sharing where Synergy does, or Barrier or Input Leap. Input Leap I think will eventually get there. It's a note box a bit low. Okay, let's see. Yeah, there's the code. All right. Oh, you're just using dialogue. I got you. Checking compatibility. Saying, hey, are you using NVIDIA or Intel or AMD? And then execute and install the packages. You can check out the rest here. All right, all right. Not bad, not bad. I'm just grabbing some other dependencies. Man, I love scripts though. Scripting is great. It can definitely cut down on a lot of people's things. Really nice, man. Good job, Zero. Why does the date command here have such weird syntax? What date command are you talking about? Oh, this is Cosmic. We're on Cosmic now. I've been on Cosmic for pretty much the past, since last stream. last Thursday, and I wanted to just kind of daily drive it for about a week, and I mean, well, couple days really, and just kind of get a feel for it, figure out the bugs, things like that, that I personally have. For me, a couple bugs, yeah, some showstoppers for the most part, where I couldn't be in here day in, day out. For the most part, everything works. And I do like the layout. I think I would daily drive it if I just needed a quick setup. So very cool. Yeah, total cosmic shill now. I'm gonna probably wait for the next release or so, and I'll probably do a video on it sometime in the future, kind of laying out just all the customization to it, because I'm going through and I'm like, I do like a lot of the things, and then the settings, very reminiscent of what you see on GNOME. Here, let me pull this over here. You might notice some of the tiling's not quite as smooth either. Oh, crap. I didn't even know it could do that. Oh, you can drag and drop them in? Oh. Oh, weird. So you can stack the windows. Stack them. Wow. Okay, still finding crap out. Apparently I did not drag and drop it enough. That's neat. So then if I take this out, yeah, it drops it out of the stack. All right. Yeah, neat. Anyways, the actual settings, I like how simplistic it is. This does make a lot of sense. It has a little search feature. The display settings, very easy to set up. And if you do power and battery, you can install that if you want. I'm not using a laptop here, so I didn't really care. Input devices, most of like, we did some custom shortcuts for like Alacrity. I didn't like the terminal that much compared to my basic Alacrity config. I know I read more up on the Cosmic Terminal. Cosmic Terminal is actually based on Alacrity. So for me, I already had all the customizations for it, and I really didn't care about the front end they made for it. For a new user, just use Cosmic Terminal. Very similar, but since I've already have all my configs and everything set exactly how I like it, it doesn't make any sense for me to use it. So that's what I did. And then I did checked out Looking Glass as well, because I do PCI pass-through. That is also working. So very good. So that is the gist of it. Yeah, we need to take a look at issues and stuff like that. I know I did a main channel video on Linux utility and kind of going over some of that. I know we have quite a bit of outstanding issues. I'll probably squash and work through those probably later tonight. And then Windows utility, I think there's a couple outstandings that I need to work through as well. Just waiting probably for later tonight. I just kind of wanted to give everyone an update on the Cosmic experience. It's been good. But I like the simplicity of all of everything I'm seeing in Cosmic, from the settings menu to the window layout. A lot of these have just been very, very good, and I've enjoyed them. So I look forward to seeing the beta release. I'd say is probably the next time I'll try it. The next thing I think we probably should do is, yeah, I'll get a lot of the pull requests and stuff probably tomorrow's stream. We'll tackle the big ones, and then tonight I'll probably work into the wee hours doing a lot of the cosmetic and the little break fixes and stuff that's not really earth-shattering grammatical error fixes and those little tiny PRs. I'll merge all that off stream. So what are we going to do today? Now that we've given an update on Cosmic, we like it. It's great. The road to Cosmic looks very bright indeed. Just not quite ready to go. That's my take. But I do like it. I think what we do now is probably just say, all right, great. Let's go back to DWM probably, or maybe we do a little Hyperland. A couple things with Hyperland that I kind of wanted to go into, like the config file. I have like a Hyperland config and a few other things in here. But I don't know. I want to kind of get, I know I'm trying to make Hyperland a thing for me, even though all the times I've tried it, I haven't liked it, mainly because I keep grabbing other people's dot files. And I haven't enjoyed that customization. Coming from someone else's dot files has been a poor experience for me. Could be a skill issue, could be a lot of different things, but I haven't been able to customize it and get it to a spot where I've enjoyed it. And I think a lot of that has been dealt with me grabbing other people's configs. So I think really I want to do Hyperland, but I want to configure it like I did my DWM. So it's simple, it works, and I don't want to mess around with a whole bunch of fancy animations and all the craziness you see with Hyperland rices. Most of that has been not great. So that's where I'm kind of like, I kind of want to start from scratch and customize as I go, because like I said, it's been a disaster all the other times. And I know a lot of people love Hyperland, and I still feel bad. I don't feel like I've given it an honest shake from the start. I've kind of wanted to cheat and then get to a desktop with Hyperland installed with all the stuff. And I'm just like, ugh. So kind of what I want to do with this is just say, okay, let's just redo some of this. And I don't want to reinvent the wheel here, but I do want to look at exactly what I'm doing here. We have G bar, and I think we're going to get rid of G bar. Yeah, well, let's go. Monitors, pretty simple. Input, we don't need to label all this crap. And what I want to do is make this as simple as possible. Splash rendering, mouse moves, and swallow. I definitely do. Swallow regex. Let's change this. And we're just going to go through, kind of clean this out. Let's go. Decoration. Rounding. Opacity. Blur. And I'm just going to make this as simple as possible. I don't think some of this as an old one I've done. I got some of the things I like on here, some of the things I don't like. Shadow, I guess we can leave alone. No way bar. All right. Animation. We can enable and disable animations. Ooh, I almost want to disable animations. I'm going to leave it for now because I did like these animations. They were somewhat simplistic. And let's go here. These are rules. Because you can set specific rules like floating on GIMP or swallowing on terminal usage. We do already have that one up top that does a regex and grabs all alacrity and swallows them. Just use Windows. That would be great. Trip tips to get VMs running smoothly. You know, I really like shared memory. I've kind of come around on that. Obviously, don't be doing anything risky in the VMs if that's what you're going to do with shared memory. I like bridge mode. I like to install the VMs on specific pass-through of both hardware and GPU. And then also I like to use the Spice client with 2 virtual keyboards and 2 virtual mice. Specifically going in and using those different versions so it'll respond properly. And if you do all those customizations, you should have a very good experience. All right, let's go keybinds. We got thorium, looking glass, log out super P. I don't like that one. And then super F1 for keybind. That's just the help menu. Multimedia. What's this bind E? Seems like it's a... And WP CTL seems wrong too. Let's just remove that. All right, screenshot. Oh, we get another bar. I was going to try to do another one. Yeah, I tried Sway. I just did not like Sway's window stacking. It was weird. Felt wrong. All right, hyper picker, sway lock. We're gonna actually get rid of that. Super return, delete that. Alacrity. Hyper picker, we can leave. Grimblast is supposedly pretty good. Rofi, this is super strange. I'm gonna probably just do. Oops. Let's actually, let's come down. Let's go down one more. DWM. Actually, let's just come into the DWM project, config. What I want to do is grab some of my settings right here just to make sure we're using the right ones. Oh, it makes the binding repeatable. Okay. So bindee was not a misprint. Thank you, Avi. As far as languages go, I'm not very sufficient in any computer language. There's some weird comments I've been getting lately. I don't know what's going on with the internet. Do people really, do programmers really identify with only one language? That seems wrong. Like, every good programmer I've ever met in my life knows multiple languages. Right? Am I crazy for thinking that? Like, people are like, I'm a Rust dev or I'm a C dev. I've never met anybody in their 40s or 50s that just know one language. Anybody that I've ever met competent in real life says, I'm a developer. And I'll be like, sweet, what languages you know? What do you like to write in? There's preferable languages for most devs, but most of them know like 3 or 4 languages. Like, the guys that actually earn 6-figure salaries, I've never met one that's like, I am this dev. So I don't know what's going on with the internet, but everyone's like, I'm a Rust dev or I'm a C dev. I'm like, this is weird. I don't really care what language I'm using. Yeah. Just like, okay, yeah, I want to do a script. I'm going to use like Bash, you know? Or if it's Windows, I'll use PowerShell. You know, if I want to use, like, hell, DWM's written in C, and I'm like, it's okay. It's cool. Rust, it's neat. Rust is, like, weird in its own way. Like, my first impressions of it are just simply, it's hard to program in, but you also can't do stupid mistakes, and you don't have to compile as much. But, you know, potato, you know, I could see how if you were already really fluent in one language, going to Rust would be super aggravating. Whereas if you really know Rust, you could go to C and then make some really stupid mistakes and like, oh, I needed a garbage collector and other stuff. So I don't know. That's where I'm kind of like, strange. It's like saying a certain language is the best spoken language. Yeah, it just doesn't make any sense to me. Yeah. I'm sure there's certain programmers that are just fluent in one language. Yeah. But I bet if you actually sat down Linus, he would say he knows several languages. But anywho, like I said, my initial thoughts on a lot of that drama and stuff like that, I was like, doesn't matter to me. I don't really care. So yeah. Let's see. I did want to grab Faye. Oh no, we can't use Faye in Hyperland. That's right. We got to use Hyperpaper. We do need to write a bash script and stuff on that. No Ox, thanks for the bits. I'm glad you like the projects. I love writing a lot of these projects. It is the most fun I've ever had. I just get an immense sense of fulfillment from both Windows utility and doing the Linux utility. It has just been so much fun, and I have absolutely loved every bit of it. Those, you know, whenever I go to sleep at night, I'm like, oh God, I need to do this. I need to make this improvement. And I love flip-flopping back and forth between the two, because when I start getting tired of one, I'll go back to the other one, and then it kind of resets my brain to where I'm like, oh, okay, cool. I'm ready to get back to the other one now. So I kind of like going back and forth. To me, if I had to only choose like one language to just write in, I would really hate myself. I think I get really tired of what I do. So I really like the back and forth. Maybe I'm just like super ADD or something, but I really enjoy that. Mac Util next. You joke a little bit on that, but Mac kind of needs a utility as well. And Mac, there's some really insane defaults on a Mac, and everyone just leaves them there because they don't want to. They either probably don't know the commands to remove something like the really stupid animations that do by default. And there's a lot of power in terminal from Mac because it is more Unix based, and a lot of parallels to Linux in that regard. And there's a lot of customizations that you can do from just a performance standpoint and just a sanity standpoint. You can't, it's still going to look like a Mac. So if you don't like the way it looks, it's still going to look like crap, in my opinion. I hate how Macs look, but you can make them run a lot faster. All right, let's see. I was grabbing something in here. What was I looking up? All right, let's see. So I was here. Thunar. Oh, is Rofi. We need the launcher command. That's what I was going for. Rofi show drun. Okay, yeah. Huh. Well, that's weird. Okay, there we go. drun. So we're just going to fix that. Kill a Rofi. I don't know about this emoji. Oh, that's the emoji picker. Super period. Check that out. Can you if statement that? I don't know if you can, actually. Haven't really tried much. All right, focus. I'm going to leave these out. I'm just going to clear out some of these. Hyperland hasn't treated me very well at all, but we're still working on it. Here, 1 second here. I'm going to close this out. All right, sorry. For some odd reason, my chat was spamming. Connected. I'm hoping that fixes it. We'll see. It could be my landmouse. I'm still working on this setup. Yeah, we're going to try and do SWW for shuffling wallpapers without a bash script. We already have the bind here. We're going to try to see what we can do here. Super shift grave. I wonder what that's. Key binding. Just going through. These are good starting spots. Mouse binding. We just got move window. I think that's like a right or left click. This right here is Cosmic. So we've been on Cosmic for a little bit, and it's, I mean, good as an alpha could be, I would say. Window management. Let's delete that. So we got screenshots. I'm just getting rid of like these giant blocks of text. Any like extra screen grab ones, and then just kind of getting a standard starting spot. Something that's a good starting spot for me with no real customizations except for the basics. Using SWW for, oh, let's see, someone just wrote in chat. We could do SWW. Let's just go wiki. You can just do a find papers, wallpapers, type F, shuffle in one. Oh. With SWW image. Okay. So instead of this, we do find, or actually, sorry, the command inside is what we want to execute. So we got to wrap it with the $sign there. Pictures, wallpaper, type F. Shuff in one. Thanks, Copilot. Just double checking. I think we got to do one more thing. So we got pictures. It's actually Nord dash background instead of wallpapers. Something like that. We should be good. So now our SWW should grab a random Nord background for us and toss it in. We have our mate whole kit authentication. Let's double check on that. User lib mate Polkit mate 1 authentication agent. That is correct. So that's good. That's good. That's good. And then we should be fine. XDG portal and then WL clipboard history. Now to choose the bar. For the bar, what is it? What's the bar I wanted to look at? It was like ACR Wayland. Jeez, no. It was what was that? Started with an A. It's lost. Let's go Hyperland bars real fast just to see what we got. Hyperland bars. Status bars. What do we got from the wiki? So you got Waybar. You got ew, which is just awful. Yeah, I don't really want to use either one of those. Yeah, ooh's a neat one when configured properly, but I don't want to spend the next I don't want to spend the next month configuring my damn bar. And that's what ooh is. It's an awful, awful configuration. I mean, it'd almost be quicker to just make it myself from scratch with my own code. That's how bad ooh is. From a configuration standpoint, it's the worst I've ever seen out of any program ever. And I've seen some crazy shit. So to say that's a bold statement. But yes, that's what ooh is. You have to be insane to use it. DWM is simpler than ooh. Agreed. Literally writing in C is simpler than ooh. It's because there's actually some standardization and you're like, okay, that doesn't compile. That's wrong. With ooh, you're just kind of shooting in the dark a lot of times and you're just like, okay, Yeah, it's all over the place. And everything's like renamed to weird acronyms. Like, ooh, yuck. Okay. It's crazy. But if you want a challenge, ooh is definitely amazing. I have seen some amazing rices using ooh, and the customizability of ooh is amazing. So if the ooh developer sees this, hey man, you made an amazing project. You just made it so you need a lot of time to configure it. Like a lot of time. Okay, I think it was AGS Linux. A customizable extensive shell. I haven't used this before, but I've heard good things, and some of the rices I saw used it. And I like, ooh, that's interesting. It's inspired by ooh as well. So I kind of want to give it a whirl. It would be an interesting one to see, and I want to get started on it. You got widgets, services, utilities, and examples. All right. So getting started, you can just install it with this guy. So I think we're going to just do that, and we'll just install some. Oh. AGS is very similar to GNOME's top bar, in my opinion, at least. Yeah, and I don't mind GNOME's top bar. There's a lot of things about GNOME that I do enjoy. I like a lot of the theming. A lot of the GTK themes are actually pretty nice. I think some of the most aesthetically pleasing. I like its settings menu. Very reminiscent of what you see right over here. If you go settings. Wow, come on, settings. Can't type today. A lot of keyboard settings. So these things right here, this is GNOME, I think, has the best layout ever. You can see a lot of the GNOME look and feel kind of baked into what Cosmic's doing over here. I like how simple this is, and GNOME is probably the de facto standard for simplicity on the settings config. Very good. And the top bar of GNOME, not awful. It's just like the dock, the extensions, everything else about GNOME that is just the worst ever. And they should feel bad about programming it that way. You know, there's no way I'm ever going to use GNOME. It's just not an option. Do you prefer Paru over Yay? This is actually a great question. Thank you for asking it, Placid. Paru or Yay? It's the eternal question. Are you a Go or a Rust person? If you're Rust, you're Paru all the way. If you're Go, you're using Yay. I don't really care. Like, in reality, I think Paru installs a little faster from the actual installing of the AUR. Obviously, it doesn't really matter when you got it installed. Where Go is a little bit bigger package. I like the fact that Yay is 3 letters and not 4. I like confirmation and showing the code in Paru is a little excessive, where I think Yay is a little more streamlined. So there's like pros and cons to each, and I wouldn't call one better than the other. You know. So if Paru is installed, I'll use Paru. If Yay's installed, I'll use Yay. But if I had both installed, I'll just like flop between the two because I just don't care. Yeah. Oh, Cosmic AUR. I don't think I've actually done that. I think I want to just stick with whatever's in the main repos. I kind of want to stick with just the base Cosmic group package. Hey, what's up, GFY? So we got our AGS shell installed. Once that's installed, you just run AGS. Okay. Well, AGS -- help. So there's a config file. And then you have it in it. Is there AGS already here? There's nothing there. So let's go AGS dash init. Okay. AGS is installed with Nix. There is no guarantee that they're... Okay, I'm not installing with Nix. Okay, so then we go AGS. We have our config. Is this JavaScript? Okay. So... Cool. Neat. I don't know what all that did, but it's initialized, and then I think we just launch it. So if we just type like AGS, it would launch the top bar. You have your welcome to AGS with that. Okay, that's cool. Do we want to... I feel like we could type that out and just kind of make that a little better. AGS with Hyperland, I bet you. Let's look at that, because AGS with Hyperland, there's some like showing workspaces and stuff is what I'm thinking. You might be thinking, Titus, where? I thought you were starting from scratch. I'm like, yeah, kind of. I'm getting ideas from other people. There's one good quality that every Linux user has. We're all just a bunch of thieves. None of us really write from scratch. All of us just go, oh, what did the other guy do? I'm going to yoink that. And then I'm going to take that from this guy. And then maybe from her, we'll grab this. And then it kind of cobble together your own at the end of the day. But really, at the end of it, it's all somebody else has already done it. You can check the example bar on the AGS. Oh, thank you. Thank you, Maple. It's steering me in the right place. That's why I always love doing this on chat. Because left to my own devices is always rough. Okay, so sample bar. There's that. I like that. For the simple bar example, you got that. I don't want to use the app launcher probably. I'm going to probably use Rofi. Although, yeah. Simple bar example. Huh. So it's just a CSS style with JavaScript. Oh, simple enough. Well, let's just remove config.js, wget. Oh no. What happened there? Okay, so we have that. Oh, oops. Okay, my bad. I copied the entirety of the config.js example. No bueno. All right, let's come back here and we'll just grab style real fast. Instead of doing like the clone and then like moving it to temp and then back, we're just going to grab it direct. Because it's really only those two files, I think. So then if we go AGS again, you got that. You have, obviously it's going to bomb out because we're missing AGS service hyperlink. Oh, there was a Hyperland service that we were missing too. So simple bar example. Oh, there's a services subdirectory here somewhere, right? Maybe, maybe not. All right, I guess we'll just all right, let's just start it from scratch. Remove AGS RF. All right, trash that. Let's just set it up. All right, great. And then if we run it, what does that look like? Could not enumerate because there is no resource or such file. AGS service hyperland JavaScript. So we're missing this file. Huh. I wonder where that is. I like to work all this out before switching. No, I bet the int4 repo has that. I'm just looking for services. Hyperland? Nope. Huh. Well, it still should be able to find the JavaScript file, correct? It should be in Hyperland to run it. You think so? Because, like, the actual error shows, hey, looking for resource right here. Technically, there should be a hyperland.javascript file, correct? Correct. I mean, I could be wrong here. We can look at the config itself as well. Like, if we go into AGS, we look at config. Let's look at hyper. Oh. Yeah, maybe I do need to bind it. I don't see a direct binding. There's no... Yeah, you guys are right. Y'all are right. All right. So I think we got this pretty much ready to go, right? Ah. So we got a basic AGS configuration. Now to launch AGS, when we look at the simple bar, you're just going to go AGS launch right here. And under hyperland config, let's go execute once equal AGS config. Ooh, one thing here. We don't need the ampersand because this is part of the execute once. Yeah, AGS is essentially an alternative to Waybar or OO, and a lot of people like it. I've started to see it more and more, and I was like, I kind of want to try that. And let's see what other... There's one other thing. Since we're going to be actually logging out and using our display manager, I did want to look at SDD and themes, so we don't have these nasty themes that... sad to say, our part here. Let's go rating. What are the top rated ones? We got Sugar Candy. I think Sugar Candy is probably the worst theme ever created, just because when you type in your password, it actually shows the letters you're typing. So Sugar Candy you should never use that theme. If that's your bag and you want to see your password, sure. But if you're live streaming and you want to share your password to, hundreds of people like I am, that would be kind of stupid. So, fun fact, I already did that. But you should know about it. All right, now Sugar Light theme. Let's see. And then I think I've grabbed the Nordic theme before and I had an issue with it. Oh, look at this one. You could change it to hidden. That's true, LoJack. I feel like this is kind of cool. I think we're going to go ocean theme on this one. I feel like an ocean login would be neat. Simple, easy. I like it. Oh, wow. That was weird. Oh, okay. Yep. All right. let's just go to downloads, right? So we have, where's our ocean? I feel like it should be right here. Oh, there it is. Move. Let's go sudo move ocean. And we're going to move this to what? USR. Let's go USR share. Is there a SDDM theme or SDDM? Themes, maybe? Should probably look to see where I extract this at. I cannot remember right off there. Huh. Let's go SDDM theme location. I can't remember exactly what it is. Oh, US SDDM themes. Okay. That's what I thought it was. Themes. Perfect. All right. So let's go tar xvf ocean. Oops. Let's try that as sudo, huh? Okay, so now we got our ocean themes. We can... Oops. So I just... Okay, good. So now we're good there. And then let's just pop over to etc and grab SDDM comp. This should be theme. And I'm just going to look at the reference here. Okay. Well, I remember I made fun of ArchWiki for not having a dark mode, and then I just figured out they have a dark mode right here. In the top right. That was funny. Yeah. Theme settings. So you add theme and then set it to breeze. So what this looks like is... Huh. I think it'd show an example there, but apparently not. Current. Yeah, thank you. Yeah, that's exactly what I needed. I was just waiting for chat to tell me because apparently I suck at looking things up on the wiki here. Ocean. Now, if we go yeah, just ocean's fine. Oh, actually. Yeah. Cool. So now what we'll do is we're going to reboot and we're going to try Hyperland out once more. This time, this is more basic configuration. We should be good. Run G settings, org gnome, interface, control scheme, prefer dark. I think I already have. Just certain things don't pull up dark. This was a pretty big one. The one thing I'm unsure about during this update was it was removing like a QEMU package because the new version overrode the old version and it was a different package name. So if my QEMU's all screwed up, there was something was amiss. Would you say Arch LTS kernel is almost as stable as Debian? I'd say so. I'd say, yeah. It's gotten to the point where Arch has, like, LTS with Arch, pretty darn good. If I haven't broke it, because almost every stream I'm like, let's just update all the packages, see what happens. And then it seems to update just fine. Now, having said that, it'll probably bomb out on this update. But inevitably, it never really does. So I'm like, okay. It usually just kind of updates and works, which is cool. I'm glad the Arch team has gotten a lot more stable. Now, is this going to give us our SDDM theme? I think it's still starting up. Yeah, we just updated. I literally updated as I started the stream. So we'll see. Cosmic's a new desktop environment released by System 76. Yeah, I think SDDM died as well. That's okay. TT Wyatt. So what we'll do, just do a little restart. I believe it should just kick it right back to the login menu when the restart goes off. Login? Oh, I think I screwed up my theme. All right, 1 second. All right, we'll go USR share Wayland sessions. We can just do Hyperland here. So let's go sudo vim etc sddm.com. Goodbye, Cosmic. Been fun. Look forward to our next visit to your neck of the woods. And back to Hyperland to tinker. So we're going to p-kill everything I'm running. Now, give me a theme. Unfortunate. Now, is this Hyperland? Ah, shit. Looking for an HDMI capture card to use in Arch. Do you have any recommendations that's the easiest to set up? Sushi, this is a fantastic question. Yes. What you want to get is a Magewell capture card. However, what you need to go is on eBay and get a used Magewell capture card, because you can get a 4 HDMI output for roughly $150 off of eBay. If you go get that same card off of like Amazon.com or direct from Magewell, they're going to charge you $1,000. I don't know what it is about capture hardware, but it feels like a lot of the Windows user moved on to like an Elgato, which kind of sucks in comparison, and has ditched their Magewells. So you heard it here first. Go save yourself $800. Go get the Magewell off of eBay used. Fantastic cards. I will never use anything else because I have had nothing but problems with almost every other capture card except for my Magewell. Only downside to Magewell, that input signal picture sucks. It's ugly. But I would rather have $800 than have chat complain about my Magewell. no signal screen compared to the Elgato no signal screen. Yeah, just saying. Okay, now where are we going? It still didn't take the theme. I think we're missing like a dependency there. Okay. Alrighty. We got our simple bar. We got our AGS. We've got... Ooh, Rofi looks a little rough. I think we ditch Rofi, go with something from AGS. AGS does feel good, though. Oh, that's weird. Okay. What's going on with that? Some bugs to work out in the JavaScript there. You need Rofi Wayland. I think we can just... Let's just go AGS launcher. Let's go Linux. So now this is Hyperland. Extension updated. A little bit weird on the AGS. Although I do initial impressions pretty good. Nothing clickable up here. We do have a volume button though. Let's go examples. App launcher. So for the app launcher, so you can go AGS app launcher and grab that. Now, app launcher is this JavaScript. Huh. Okay. App config, import out. So let's just copy that. Let's go into .config AGS. Let's grab our config JavaScript here. Now we have the workspaces. I bet we could fix some of this though. We could probably just cursor it. I don't know jack about JavaScript at all. So, Flip, how's it going? Welcome, Raiders. We are just doing some Hyperland customization work and working on kind of pimping out our Linux. Should be fun. This one, we're actually just building from scratch, though. Instead of just copying people's dot files, I feel like this is just a better way to start. Now, for this config, app.config, I feel like the import should be up here, and then we should consolidate some of that. So we have the constants right here. I feel like the import should be at the very top, right? So I feel like the import should be up at the top. You have these, and then you got your config right here. So you could specify that configuration. So I think like this. Yeah. Oh, but then you got bar and windows. So this is actually the same. Yeah, I think that's actually what we do. Oh, wait, no, that export needed to be there. So if we just save that out, and can we just queue? We need plasma components. What is it? Plasma extras. Let's grab that too while we're there so we can play some themes on our display manager. I broke it. Yeah, I broke it. Okay. Let's do cursor. And what I want to do is pull in that AGS theme. And we're just going to have it write this stuff. Let's see. Let the AI do it. It's going to be glorious. It never gets anything wrong. Man, I was talking to my son about that. We went on a long car trip over the weekend. And it was the middle of Kansas. One of my cousins got married. And on the way, I was watching a video, and there's all this, AI hype, right? The AI bros have taken over the internet, I feel like. And he was saying, it's going to take the jobs. And I was like, if you got a good, no, that's not what I wanted to do. Let's go back a folder. I was like, if you actually have skills, you're always going to be in need. And all AI does, AI, LLMs is really what we're talking about, is it just makes you get your work done faster in a perfect world. Now, a lot of times LLMs will just put crap code in your stuff, and then all of a sudden you're tracing down some weird bug that the LLM did for you. Let's see. Let's see if the LLM can figure out I changed the config and then it broke my thing. This is broken. What is wrong? Yeah. Well, there's also a lot of things. What I was watching too was how they've used all this code, all of our code, and all these things to train these LLMs and AI. But they've used like my YouTube videos. Well, that's my pieces of work of art. If someone else takes my YouTube videos and re-uploads it, well, I can claim that video. But Google's training Gemini on my YouTube videos sometimes as well. Does that mean they owe me money for like royalties because they're using my work to produce other pieces of work of art? Because part of it, there's a lot of nuance here. And I think all these AI programs are going to get sued to oblivion because, yeah, that's not cool if Google takes my videos and then makes other videos using my works of art. I'm entitled to a cut of that. So it's interesting to see what'll happen in this next bit. Oh, did I not copy the app launcher JS? Oh, that's what I did wrong. Dirt. I wonder. Let's restore. Oh, I just did the config.js. You're right. I'm such a goob. Obviously, the LMs have been copying my works of art because they don't work. All right. There we go. I got our app launcher now. I am a yapper. That's true. Hopefully I instill some form of entertainment with my yapping, though. That's what I always strive for, at the very least. All right, let's see. Now, I don't think... Let's do a pkill AGS. And if we do AGS... Ooh. How do we launch this? Just a .config, right? Config.js. That did work, but what do we make the hotkey? I cannot remember. Oh, I think we just do AGS-T. Yeah, so let's kill this. AGS ampersand, right? It's gonna kind of fill up our chat with garbage, but that's okay. And then I think AGS-T, was it? No. I think there's a way. Let me look at that example again. So you do that, and then, T app launcher. So you can go AGS-T app launcher. And then you can do this. Huh. So then if we type time shift. Okay. So let's try that again. AGS-T app launcher. Launcher. And then let's say we want to launch GIMP. Yeah, okay, that works. I kind of like that. That's cool. So to fix this, let's just go into, so we have our config, we have our app launcher. Well, actually, let's go over Hyper. And we're going to go into hyperland.com. So here's this one to launch the configuration, and we're going to just add a bind. So we were using Rofi with a super R, and you can see that right here. Now, what we'll do, so let's just wipe out all that. We're just going to go AGS-T app launcher. Something like that. And then what's the relaunch command? Ah, gosh. Reload. Relaunch. Quit. Huh. Let's look. Kill active is super shift Q's exit. I thought there was another one. Okay. That's okay. I wanted to also fix our plasma extras. Ugly launcher. Rofi's the best. Fair. Rofi can be looking a lot better. If you go hyper CTL reload, that's okay, but it doesn't relaunch the thing, so we got to quit out. That's okay. Let's go and grab that plasma extras real fast. Let's go plasma, and then let's grep extra. There was a package, I think it was plasma extras, but I don't know what the exact package is on here. Oh, well, that is not helpful. Should be plasma extras. Oh, shoot. There's we could grab the meta package, but I don't really want to install all that crap. Thought there was a for SDDM. Let's grab SDDM KCM. Let's see what that also needs. Forgot to grab that. So let's just go SDDM KCM. We'll quit out and let's see what we have. Cannot find the, what was it? org.kdplasma.extras. Module plasma core is not installed. And then you have Qt graphical effects and plasma extras. So I don't know what the org KD plasma extra package is. So if we do a meta install of plasma, oh, it's going to be a million packages, isn't it? Let's just try plasma meta. Actually, it's not that bad. 50 packages. I mean, there's worse things, right? Yeah. KD bloat incoming. Close your eyes. Yeah. Now let's quit out. It still didn't work. Installed all that bloat for nothing. Another thing I'm noticing is I don't think it's grabbing our wallpaper, is it? Or maybe the find, there was another file in that directory. Let's see. Oh, no, it is. I think there's another miscellaneous file in there. So if we come into here, we look at this. Well, is it that though? I want to say if we go into our pictures, we're doing everything in here. Now, is there any like excess files, like a thumbs DB or some crap that maybe Windows tossed in? No, it doesn't have an access folder. So I think it just maybe reloaded it twice and we need to do it once. I'm not sure. The other thing we're having issues with is the landmouse. Let's look at... Yeah, it probably just depends on plasma stuff. I use this astronaut theme. Okay, let's see. Let's go... Do like Rofi better. Rofi is easily better. Huh. Thorium. Yeah, so it's not grabbing the XDG units. No, man. I don't know if it's worth it for me. Astronaut theme does look good. Let's just do this. CD user share SDDM themes. I hate to do this, but you know. We're just gonna grab it. We're gonna clone it like this. Doing a GH just requires authentication and some other shenanigans. So SDDM astronaut theme. Let's just go here. Let's just take this guy right like this. And let's see if chat fixes the issue here. And then we'll just highlight this guy right here. Paste. Well, there we go. So with that out of the way, sure. Quit out, and do we have an astronaut theme now? It's still trying to load Nordic. Oh, you know what's happening? I bet you there's another comp right there. Oh, Primogen's birthday. Well, happy birthday, Prime. That's awesome. SDDM also could... Yeah, it probably needs to restart as well. But before we restart it, let's come into SDDM. I bet you... Yeah. So this is what's happening. It's doing all of this and parsing this command. Halt command. Reboot command. Oh, that's kind of interesting. I want to kind of grab these two things. Yank them. Right? And then let's do... oh, yeah. Let's go 3. Yank. And let's just go File Explorer. Go up 1. SDDM conf. let's paste these guys. Yeah, that's fine. And then let's just do a sudo right. And I like that. Perfect. So now let's remove sddm.conf.d. Yeah, let's do that as super user. RF. Now let's go sudo systemctl restart sddm. And we should get an actual login prompt now. I think it was just going through and grabbing it the other way. So that obviously logged us in direct, but let's kill our user. Now we should see the login screen. Perfect. Other than the fact it didn't load our theme. Oh, it's current, not current. Caps matter, man. All right. Yeah. There it is. The ever elusive cap. And then it auto logs in. Kill it. Come back, and it's fixed. I know I'm going about this the long way, but now we officially... Does that work? Okay, yeah. Nice. Okay. Sweet. All right. Me and my super secure passwords. Chris, do you know if Cosmic has magnification zoom features for the visually impaired folks? That's a good question, Michael. I did not see any accessibility options as of yet. I'm sure on launch it will have something, though. I did see a bunch of scaling options. So I think they will have that. Wallpaper doesn't seem to be working. Maybe we quit and relaunch. Let's try it again. Okay. All right, let's do this. Let's come back into Hyperland config. We're going to come back into this keybinds. I want to fix one thing too. Because right now what we're doing is this execute once command right here. Right? I feel like we should be able to do probably super shift W. Right? So like do a bind equals super shift W, and then we put our SWW right there. Save that out. Okay. What did I do wrong there? Okay. Invalid displacer suggested request does not exist. Oh, exec. Yeah, that's right. Not bad. So you do an exact. Now we're fine. So now if I want to change this wallpaper, super shift W. Super shift W. Don't think you can run two versions on top of each other with that command. That's probably why it was showing a black screen before. So that's an easy fix. You could do like a kill all. So maybe P kill SWWW. And then come into this command maybe? Or is that just going to give me an or? So Super Shift W. That kills it. Press it again. Yeah, nope, that doesn't work. Oops. Interesting. Did I miss quotes? Oh, I need to quote it out. Oh, I got you. All right. Let's add those quotes. Something like this, right? Save that out. No love, no love. All right. No comma. So, well, when you're doing the bind, the other ones are set. Oh, it's super shift. Super shift. Super shift. Super space. Is this, what the hell's up with this syntax? Like, this is super shift with no comma, but this is super space with a comma? Okay. This seems a little jank. Just saying. That does not work. Invalid dispatcher. I do like the live reload, so that fixes that. I mean, super shift is correct because I use super shift Q all the time. And execute is just for startups. Execute once for startup. These are actually displacers is what he calls them, or types. So it's execute. Oh man, I really don't want to talk trash here about Hyperland. I really don't. I like Vaxry. But y'all, I mean, come on now. This doesn't feel good. It just does not. All right, let's keep going. Let's keep going. I don't want to harp on something. The syntax is fine if you just use it and don't overanalyze the logic. Thanks, Chris. I appreciate that. The skill issue. Can't help a person with a skill issue. Okay. Yeah. Now, all right, so SWW is just the wallpaper, and I wanted to use that. Maybe we use hyper paper instead. You know? Maybe we do that instead of SWW. That's what I'm thinking. I mean, do we have paper Hyperpaper's here. So you got hyperpaper argument done. Instead of config. So I think you can just type the file in, right? So let's say you have this, right? Let's just yank it. Let's just try to do hyperpaper and then do, okay, no. Hyperpaper. Let's just do a TLDR hyperpaper. What? Give me some examples. No documentation. Hyperpaper. Okay, that's helpful. It tells me how to use help. Let's do man. Hyperpaper. No manual entry. Okay. Well. Okay, so there's no documentation. Guess we could hack around and get this figured out. Mental note to self before don't throw stones in a glass house is what my daddy always said. So I can't really say anything about hyperpaper, but it does remind me on my own project, I need to go into the linutil and make a proper help page, maybe a manual input, and maybe submit to the TLDR register some customized syntax to run. Maybe even have an F1 help pop up as well. Those would be good things to include in any open source project. Because if you don't document what you're trying to do, no one's going to use your damn project. So if you spend hundreds of hours making something, document it. Otherwise, no one's going to use it. All right, good enough. What's your favorite window manager so far? DWM. It just works. It just works. Every time, everything, I know I boot into that, and everything I do will be as fast as it can be because it's only a 100 kilobyte binary, and it's just gonna work. Super boring. I never am gonna make a video about it because I've already made several videos about it, and it's just nobody cares to use it because it's all just C program. It's just C code. There's no config really, because once you compile it once, you just don't need to compile it again unless you need to change something. But once you get everything set exactly how you want it, yeah, I mean, you just, that's it. What about DWL? Everyone just says DWL. I've done it. I just this is yeah. Maybe I might just take another crack at this offline. But overall, I feel like right now what I need to do is first, let's go sudo vim etc sddm conf. The astronaut theme's working great, by the way. That's awesome. But if I actually need to do something, which the next stream we're gonna need to do something, we're gonna just use DWM there, and probably need to change a few other things too. Change is always hard. Agreed, Tom. Agreed. Although, you know, Cosmic though, like Cosmic worked pretty darn well. It was impressive. I was much more open to Cosmic than I am Hyperland for some odd reason. Just being real, the Cosmic experience out of the box was rather nice, and almost everything worked great. I know I didn't restart the SWW Demon. That probably would have done it. Yep, shill. I'm telling you, I don't know what it is. Yeah, the thing is, you should have some type of documentation or some like having two different binaries, one for a daemon, one for actually launching into it or changing the config or needing to restart the daemon every time you want to switch the wallpaper. That's an awful design. Terrible design. You can't get much worse than that. So, I don't know. You know, you never need to kill the daemon. Okay, well, why would I need to relaunch it? It's already been launched once. Yeah, I'd say Cosmic Gaming is terrible right now. Maybe when Alpha 2 comes out, gaming will get fixed. True. Yeah, I mean, let's see. There's a couple things here. Like if we, what was it? Lutris. We were doing Lutris on Cosmic. Let's launch Lutris. We'll do BattleNet over here. Let's see what it does on Hyperland, because this was like really broken on Cosmic. So let's see what this does over here. It's already farther. Is it going to give me? Yeah, there it goes. So let's go over here. Let's hit play. Let's see what we get. It looks like we're going to actually just get a full, so we get full screen. Yeah. Oh, God. Sick. Yeah. Well, I'd say this works pretty good right on Cosmic. Or right on Hyperland. So that's pretty cool. Okay. Well. So there we go. There's a W for Hyperland. Wanted to give it something. And then obviously my GIMP was the other thing that was also problematic on Cosmic. So when I was here doing this, when I went to adjust alpha levels on like a specific layer, this also kind of bombed out. So you can do that. Undo. Oops. Bringing it back. Let's try it again. And then it would crash. Yeah, see. You're not going to run into any of that. Okay. Smooth. So Hyperland, smooth in that regard. I think the biggest sticking point for me, one, wallpaper. Getting a good wallpaper app and setting that up properly. Let's just Google that. What are my pain points here? Let me try and articulate what my pain points are so I can get past it. Because again, as a wise man once said in chat, change is always hard. First pain point would probably be wallpaper. How's Hyperpaper work? Let's just look on the wiki. So you preload that. Do you need to do a preload, or can you not? Can you just be like, hey, load this up? Wallpaper, monitor, or you, Oh, okay. That's different, that you have to do this preload and then a load. That's kind of interesting. I wouldn't uninstall Windows Hello. It's always usually a crapshoot. Usually breaks something. change the launcher first. Oh, okay. That's a new launcher I've never seen, King Root. Let's try that. Let's try Onagri. General purpose application launcher. Let's see what it looks like. Okay. Built on top of Pop Launcher. Works in both X11 and Wayland. I wonder on theming. Waypaper. Yeah. I mean, so many people use SWWW. What am I doing wrong here? Your Wayland wallpaper woes is what the WWW stands for. So let's just look. So first you initialize it with a daemon. We did that, right? Then in a different terminal, simply pass the image you want with an image. You can also specify outputs, transitions. You can do a kill, but I want that cool transition. Sure. Can't you just do image path? I mean, why wouldn't that work is what I want to know. Because that does look good. It just isn't working out of the box. I think that's probably the biggest thing. There's so much jank to all these programs that it just doesn't work without probably enough tweaking and just hacking around to get the syntax. And it's just so new and it changes so often that you're just not sure. Yeah, there's like a gajillion wallpaper apps. I don't know why there's so many wallpaper apps. Uh, 22 Pacific says, you need to give Affinity another shot on Linux. It's working very well now. I love that idea. I'd love to kick GIMP to the curb and just use a real editor. Mainly because I think GIMP 3 is coming out and it's going to break all my scripts I wrote in ScriptFoo. Does it still need that janky Elemental Warrior wine workaround? Because last time I tried that was crazy jank. And then a lot of the pop-up boxes came like glitched and would black out and those types of things. Okay, it still needs the custom wine from Elemental Warrior. Yeah, GIMP 3 is going to break itself, probably. Well, I don't know. I guess I just don't understand why that doesn't work. Probably the thing I would choose to do here. Let's see. Initiates query. Okay, so that's not running. So I guess we could write like a bash script to make all this work. We could write a script to check to see if the actual daemon is running, and then clear it if it doesn't, and then relaunch it. I don't know. I don't know why this is so difficult. Just use my script and sway BG. Am I just taking crazy pills? But I feel like a wallpaper app shouldn't need all this jank shit to work. Is it so much to ask for just a single wallpaper app? You type in the command, you type in the image, and then, I'm going to blow your guys' mind here, it sets the fucking image without having to do a daemon. Like, this is ridiculous. I mean, and then you hyperpaper, you got to preload the damn thing and then set it, and then you go. I've done this rant before, but I have yet to see any, like, just a little bit, just a smidge of consideration for a user here would be great. Instead of all the craziness here, just, I don't need to be writing scripts to set the freaking wallpaper. It's ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. Like, how can anybody be like, Wayland's the best? But you got to have a PhD to set your wallpaper, because you got to have the daemon. Then you got to check, and let's make sure we query the daemon to make sure it's running, so then we can actually set the wallpaper with an actual set command. Like, what? Yeah, I got chat trying to help me. I get it. I get you guys are trying to help me and tell me how it is. But the fact is, there's no like, oh, let's TLDR, SWWW, right? No documentation available. No documentation available for hyperpaper. No documentation. I just feel like I'm taking crazy pills, or I'm getting trolled, because everyone's like, Wayland's perfect. And every single time we're here, every single time I go through the motions, I'm like, okay. It just feels super jank. Everything in this entire ecosystem feels jank. Like, where's the stability? Where's the consistency? Where is like, oh, you should use Linux, it's stable and reliable. There is nothing about this entire experience that feels stable nor reliable. I would much rather do my work on Windows than this. That's crazy. I feel like I'm on crazy pills. Come on, guys. Just some sane defaults. A good user experience that requires a minimal setup is all I'm asking. That's all I'm asking. But instead, I just get inundated in social media telling me how stupid I am on how I cannot set this stuff up. I get it. I get it. But you know what? It's okay. It's totally okay. Because whenever I get totally fed up, I can just come in here, go to DWM, and then I get this. And it just works. Know what else works? Changing the wallpaper with a press of a button. Wow, that works great. I like that. Launch something, unlaunch it, app menu. Feel calmer already. Yeah. Yeah, I know. Stick to the basics. But I don't want to hear any more. I don't want to hear any more. Oh, well, just Wayland just works. Wayland's great. Oh, just hyperland this, hyperland that. Every time I get on there, I'm like, oh, come on. You can do it, Chris. You can do it. All right, let's just power through it. Let's just spend an hour or so messing around. We got this. We'll just do it from scratch this time. It'll be different. It'll be different this time. And it never is. Was it really Wayland's fault? Probably not. Maybe, though. Like, there has to be something behind the scenes. There has to be something behind the scenes that forces this weird, like, preload the image and then set the image. And, like, the way Hyperpaper's designed and then also the way SWW is designed, there's a programming reason why there's so much jank. And, spoiler, it's Wayland. It just is. Now, having said that, the wallpaper did work on Cosmic. So I do look forward to Cosmic. I think Cosmic could possibly fix a lot of the jank with it. But KDE and GNOME also have fixed a lot of the wallpaper issue. So I don't know what it is about the tiling window managers that have had so many issues with wallpapers. But something is up with that. There's gotta be a reason. And maybe I'm just too smooth-brained to figure it out. But it definitely feels like that. Yeah, how did Cosmic get around it? How did KDE get around it? How did GNOME get around it? I mean, obviously they figured it out and put it in a good wrapper or a good package to fix these issues. Now, having said that, I did a rant the last time I did Hyperland. Not maybe it was 2 times ago when I tried Hyperland with some other dot files, and it was just the same kind of thing. So yeah. I'm not done with Hyperland though. I'm determined to get a decent config, and maybe I just need to keep going at it because everyone can't be that wrong. There's obviously something I'm doing that is wrong, and something where it just doesn't feel right to me. And it's gotta be me. It's gotta be. Because there can't be this many people with good Hyperland configurations and then me that just sits there, pounds around, and then go, I hate this. I really hate this. This feels like shit. So there's definitely something wrong with me. I get it. I just want to know, why does it always suck? Like, why is it always my configuration? I just can't quite get it to feel quite right. And maybe it's just the nature of the beast with a lot of the weird compartmentalization where this is not that. Well, I guess it is. You got Rofi in here. I mean, I have Rofi on top of there. You have Faye for the background wallpaper. It's a skill issue, right? It has to be. Just there's no documentation for any of these new tools, and it's just change. And those new tools are just so different, and they work so incredibly stupid that I just haven't figured out their stupidity to get all that going. Like, I don't understand why it's like that. And because I don't understand why it's like that, I can't configure them the way they need to be configured and set in a certain orientation for them to work. Yeah. Anyways, it's me. It's got to be me. It's a skill issue. Just a skill issue. That's all it is. Yeah, contact Baxry for help. Get him on. I'll patch him in. Have him take over my system. Like, all right, you noob, let me show you how it's done. This is my configuration. I don't know. I feel like there's definitely something there, though. There needs to be a more basic config, something that's like no frills, where a lot of the Hyperland configs I've tried in the past have too many bells and whistles to where I don't like it. And I think Hyperland can probably be set up in a way that feels good without all this extra garbage that can work, can go. And I think that would be good. Look at his script for Hyperland. All right, let's look at one more script for Hyperland. Because I don't want to give up on it. I really don't. I know it's good. It's just I haven't seen it be good, is all. You know? Oh shit, it's the ML4W docs again. Oh no, that was the last stream we did. It's just too much. All right, yeah. Well, spoiler, I'm Snow. I've already tried to use this, and I ended up changing everything from the configuration. And that's where I actually got AGS from. And I was like, oh, that's cool. The problem is, the ML4W docs, if you look through them, They use a lot of Git repositories when you rebuild your AUR, and I understand if I just run it, I'm sure it'll probably work. But I don't want to use a bunch of Git stuff I'm building from the AUR, specifically my core system, because when you're building from source, there's going to be bad commits. Happens to all of us. And if you're building it from the AUR, one, the AUR might not be maintained, so the build just fails, or there's an update to the Git that happens, and then all the things start going haywire. These things will happen when you use a Git. So I was like, maybe I can make the ML4W dots a little more stable. We use more of a stable release, and then we'll have a good functional system. At the end, I don't think we even got a functional system when using this. And that's a problem. And when I look at stuff, when I build a hyperland and config my dots, what I'm trying to do here is make it, one, very replicatable, meaning anyone can do it. I can give it to anybody and they can do it. And that's a big thing for me. I want everyone to be able to just replicate my setup if they want. The second thing is it needs to be extremely stable. Building from source is not stable, especially when you're grabbing from the Git and the AUR. That's just stupid. And then really, without that stability and being able to replicate it properly, you're just going to run into a lot of problems. And I guess that's why you have releases. Yeah. Maybe. So this is the releases for here. But when you're doing this and you're looking at the script, I want to say it's still, when you go to update your arch, it's still going to be problematic, is it not? Because a lot of the scripts on the setup, like let's say we extract this script, right? Let's just toss it into downloads, sure. So let's just download the stable release, go into downloads, and then we have, oh no, did it extract right here? No, maybe, I don't know. Yeah, review the code for an idea. And that's where a lot of my ideas came from. That's where I got AGS, was from the ML4 docs, 4W docs. Right. Yeah, I never have issues with updates either when it comes to Hyperland because I'm using the repo, not the Git. And that's one of the big things with it. Yeah. Yeah, I'll do chicken nuggets. How many? 4. Sweet, thanks. Getting chicken nuggets for dinner. You just give me 4. All right. Jeez. God bless. So from this source code download, it would just be 2 dot. Did it not download it? I thought it did. 2.4. Oh, dot files. Okay, so the dot files are there. And then the dot files. Huh. Oh, they're right here. Okay. So let's just open that up. We're going to extract it. Just extract it right here to downloads. Yes. Cool. So you got your dot files. Just wanted to look at this. All right. We'll go into bin, ML4W setup. So you have the header files. Got that. All right. Now, I was just looking at the path. So that's just the setup. Let's go into the library on the install. Let's go packages. .sh. Everything's subdirectory. Okay. Let's go into packages.sh. So then you got the Pacman. You got your AUR packages. So you're grabbing the Git from Yahoo, Yay, and Paru in here. All right. And diagnostic automation packages. Why is packages directory general and then Hyperland? It's kind of really convoluted how this is set up here. So that was the packages. And when we look at this, you got packages before start and after. Yeah. The way these dot files are written, the install script is almost too modular. So that's such a thing. It's kind of weird because all these are just so small, and I'm just looking for, like, I don't understand why he broke apart all of these into such small scripts. That would be just maddening to maintain, but to each his own. Like, okay. Yeah, anyways, I don't know. Looking through that makes my head hurt. I guess you could just bring it into like a cursor or VS Code kind of thing. Would probably be the best for the dot files. And then you could look through and check them out a little bit better because you're just constantly bouncing in and out of all of them. So if we go into downloads, dot files, let's open that up. So you have all of these guys. And then if we look at the packages, and then so you're setting up the AUR, you have your automation script, which is just going to automation.sh for start. So then you're getting hyperlock-git, hyper-idle-git. Yeah, I mean, I just can't get behind this script. It just looks... I'm sure it works, probably. Just, I can't. I just... Okay, here's your packages. There's no Hyperland here it's grabbing. He just always is grabbing Hyperland-git. Okay. Then you have the Pacman packages. From the AUR, he's only grabbing wlogout, Hypershade, Waypaper. And so he's using Waypaper for his background. Grimblast, screenshot, Bun Bin, and then AGS, which we already installed. It's not terrible. And these are all from Pacman, which are the official repos. So maybe this is actually okay if you just go from the releases from his thing. Oh, hell, let's give it a whirl. Let's give it a whirl before I'm just going insane here. Just going insane. There's got to be a reason. So let's just go to bin. Let's just go set it up. Gum command not found. Huh. Okay. I don't know what gum. I've never used gum before. I do love some pain. Like, I don't want to give up on it. I'm like, okay, do you want to install all required packages for ML4W? Yes. Let's just let it run. Let's let it do its thing. And this is the actual official release. So I'm hoping it's not going to just install and load us up with just a ton of AUR crap. You can also just do yay-s MLW4. Oh, okay. Gum is a text for bubble tea. Oh, okay. So it's a dependency. Little dialogue. Oh, cool. Well, I mean, like I said, a guy at my work did ML4W. I just didn't like the online files, but using the release, his latest release, it does look like it will use Hyperland and not Hyperland-Git. I'll be okay with that. I just didn't want a lot of Git packages. But let's see what ends up getting built. So from the AUR, we have X cursors, which I did want to use. Or it's not X cursors. I think we're using hyper cursor, right? We'll see. And we're getting another AUR package. PackSeek. Wonder what PackSeek is. That's an interesting package. And we got Oh My Posh from the AUR again. Oh, yeah, that's right. He's a big ZSH user. Alrighty. Yeah, I think DWL is probably where I'd end up on when we're forced to use Wayland. I kind of feel like DWL would be a good spot. The downside to this is the AUR usage is pretty egregious. So the chances of this breaking are pretty high. So, I mean, I'm sure it's going to look cool, though. We're just going to let it go. Let it do its thing. And then I'm going to just update it. I mean, I'd love to just run something like this just to have it. And then break it over my knee just to see how easy it is to break. I'm going to say it might end up ending my Arch career here. So this is a bit of a gamble. Okay, optional. Negative. I do like the little bubble tea setting, man. That's kind of cool. What's Mission Center and Smile? I don't know. Yeah, it might be back to Debian. Oh, Windows Task Manager clone. What about Smile? What is that? It sounds like a screenshot app. Or is it like oh god, what was that one where it had the webcam app? Okay. Mission Center people are talking about. What about Smile? Is it like if I had a webcam, it would take screenshots of me smiling? Chris is a 10-year GitHub user. I know 100% you will not let inconvenience stop you from learning and development cycle. Agreed. Oh, it's a login. Oh, it's Gnome Camera. Okay. Yeah, I'm good on the camera app. Let's go with it. Let's go with it. I think let's just grab those two. We're gonna just go with regular Mission Center. Sure. Yep. Or it's an emoji picker. It could be too. What's your opinion of MSP business management software? I've looked at Ninja Invoicing, MS365, Dynamics, BusyBench, others that seem to do everything we need. CMS, invoice, ticket system, scheduling, inventory. I never really could get a really good something I really enjoyed dealing with in that regard, like an all-in-one type system that does all of it. There's a couple ones out there. I even tried some open source ones, but I never really found something I'd actually recommend in that regard that does all those things. I could find some that I liked more than others, but when it came to like ticketing system, I want to say I was using Plesk, something like that. I can't remember the exact name of it for a ticketing system. It was okay. I thought that was pretty good, but it just did ticketing. For inventory, man, any kind you get like ERP type systems in, it's always a nightmare for me, and it requires constant vigilance to maintain. And to be honest, I just don't think I've ever seen it done well to where I was like, that was worth doing. But again, most of this is like more small business oriented. Yeah, I've set up like Suite CRM as well. That's another open source project for invoicing and tracking sales. I actually used it in my business for a little bit when I was doing like some sponsored spots and things like that. I was keeping track of it, and I think my uncle was like, maybe I want to get back into sales. I'm like, sure, here, I'll throw a whole bunch at your way, and if you want to negotiate, that's cool. So I set him up, and I think I did like Suite CRM, and then I did a bunch of entries, and I put them in there for him. And then he looked at it, and then I think he called a couple of them, and he's just like, yeah, this really isn't for me, Chris. It's really cool what you're doing, though. And I was like, all right, man. Well, it's cool to have you took a stab at it. And then I was just never really used the Suite CRM again after that. And I really haven't done very many sponsor spots since then either. Okay. Sugar CRM. No, I didn't do that. Suite CRM wasn't bad from an open source perspective, Tom. So, yeah. Do you want to run a short system check? Yeah, sure. Why not? Okay. Dot files will be installed in home. Do you want to use this? Sure. Following files and folders for backup. I want to create a backup. Sure. Okay. Display manager. You already have an installed display manager. If your display manager is working fine, you can keep that setup. Do you want to proceed? Keep the current setup. Keyboard, proceed. Are you using a laptop? Would you like to enable the laptop presets? No. Would you like to replace your ZSH? Sure, I don't really use ZSH. We're probably going to replace it with Bash. NVim folder. Do you? No, don't touch my NeoVim. I don't want your crappy NeoVim. All right. Copy dot files. We're going to symlink it from dot files to the .config directory. Why? Just copy it over there. Sure. All right. Do you want to download wallpapers? Nope. The bubble tea kind of situation I thought was kind of cool. The setup script's probably the most cool thing about the ML4W. I thought about using bubble tea, but I'm kind of glad we kind of rolled our own thing with the Linux utility. Now that I've used it, I'm kind of like, You know, I'm really happy we kind of went and did it all in Rust and made it like our own deal. Because Bubble Tea, well, I liked that. You know, I think I like ours better. Maybe I'm biased though. So, yeah. Have you looked at it gets a star rankings? WinUtil's third, Scoop is number 1, but WinUtil is around 120 stars away from number 1. That's awesome. That blows my mind. I can't believe that. Now, this is probably still going to drop us into our DWM, so we can quit out, and then I think we should be able to just launch into Hyperland then. Okie dokie. So here we are. They redid our cursor. Oh, and then it changed all this for the Rofi prompt. So yeah, it changed my Rofi around. Okay. That's cool. All right, let's quit out. Try Hyperland now. And we're going to switch over. Go Hyperland. Now this should look pretty good. We did all the basic stuff that they wanted us to do. So we should have a decent setup. Okay. So now we have this. Post install starts. Desktop GTK. Preferred shell. Bash. Okay. Please reboot your system. All right, we can reboot again. Does look very pretty. I gotta say, it does look extremely pretty. Yeah. Yeah. Damn. That looks amazing. That's why I kind of wanted to just run it, just to show everybody. There's as much shit as I've talked against Hyperland this stream, and honestly, I keep trying it over and over. I want to show you guys at least what is capable on Hyperland with enough tweaking. Is I feel like I've just failed. I don't know why the reboot here, Tom. That's a good question. Just changing the shell from ZSH to Bash shouldn't really matter. Don't know what's also happening with my Windows 11. It looks like it's going to do a forced shutdown. RIP, Windows. Chris, I want to start from scratch. Also, Chris. I think after the scratch just started going so far sideways on me, I was like, you know what? Let's just install the dot files. Everything set to this person's specifications, and then let's just roll back what we need and see what we can get. I hate to do that, but it's true. It's just a very, very, like, there's a lot of stuff going into this system. I think that's really what my mistake was. Looking back, with Hyperland, I wanted to be minimal and get a really good functional system with just a few binaries. And that was a mistake. Just use DWM if you want minimal simplicity. And after seeing all the dependencies here and all the crap that's added to it, along with the massive amount of customization that was put onto here, I think that that makes sense. Here, let's reboot here. Okay, let's go sudo vim etc sddm.conf just in case we reboot again. Hyperland. Let's just do it ls user share wayland -sessions. Oh, it's actually Hyperland lowercase. So let's go vim. Let's replace that with lowercase. Okay. Caps do matter. So with that done, on the next reboot, it would actually boot into Hyperland by defaults. And now we get to kind of explore this cool looking system. So here's this. We're going to go Hyperland. We're going to boot in. Now we have this. So super enter for terminal, super B for browser, control super enter to open application launcher. Okay, that's weird. Control super S for Hyperland settings script. Control super S. Oh, he added a little settings script here. So you got show waybar. You got your time format. Do you want a taskbar module? Quickly. That's kind of neat. Okay. Man, this guy put in the work. No Jippity module. No backlight module. No systray module. Workspace is 5. That's about what I like. Show window module. Okay. Quick links module. Ah. See. All right. Appearance. Toggle game mode. Rofi border size. Let's bring that down one. Font. I'll leave it for now. I don't want to change too much. Radius. Okay. Wallpaper. Oh, that's interesting. Paper cache. What about... Okay, let's go system. Browser is going to be Thorium. Browser. File manager. Thunar. Editor. Neovide. Screenshot. Calculator. Emoji picker. Smile was an emoji picker, by the way, y'all. Monitor layouts, environments. Okay, that all looks good. I like it. Let's take this welcome screen off. I think we got enough. If we go to all bindings, what does that show? Oh, interesting. Okay. So let's launch our terminal. No Zoxide. Strike one. Okay. We're gonna have to fix up some stuff here. So let's go. Just a few things here. God, why is that so slow? Huh. What is it using for the shell, I wonder? Let's just fix up Alacrity too. I don't think it messed with that too much. Okay, just bringing a couple of my nuances back. Yeah, I know it's a little bit ugly, uglifying their beautiful setup. But hyper. Now, if we go Hyperland, so you got your monitor, curses, keyboard, colors. God, so much, man. He just all in on the modular. Yeesh. All right, that's fine. So key bindings is what we want. Key bindings. Okay, we're sourcing that. So then let's go to key bindings default. So you got your browser script that's getting launched, the terminal script that's getting launched. Okay. So we're going to just change that. So now we're doing it. My bindings, just changing a few things here. And then Thunar. Gonna launch? Maybe gonna launch? Okay. What about now? Gonna launch? Okay. Yeah, that's fine. Okay. Yeah, I know I just wiped out his script to check your defaults with whatever he's doing here. That's cool. I can see a point. It definitely opens it up for other people, and you can kind of see the customization. Feels really cool. Yeah. It's definitely interesting. Caching wallpapers, okay. So we're using Hyperpaper, config, new, all, options. How do you change the folder, I wonder, add to the folder? Here we go. Home. I mean, as close as we're going to get. I think this is as close as we can get to... this guy put in a lot of work, man. It does feel cool. It does feel a little laggy, though, for some odd reason. So maybe... might not be doing something right. Yeah. Okay. So it's like a compilation of different scripts. We have our wallpapers, so we can... Okay, so this will launch there. Let's say I want to Vim, let's just come into Hyper. And from here, what was the bindings for binding? I was actually default. So default bindings were here. So it wasn't grabbing the Thorium browser. Just sure. Let's just do that. Then let's say I'm over here. Okay, now that's working. So then we got our browser. Got Unar right here. And then if we want to launch another binding I don't like, let's just come back into here. One binding that's like kind of crazy is the launcher command. So what is the launcher? Ah, right here. So control enter executes the Rofi launcher. I mean, frankly, so it's mod control enter. I would much rather prefer something a little bit closer to like mod R. So something like this. Okay. So we got main mod with just R. So we just do super mod and R. And that would launch this. So much more readily accessible than the other key combination. Just a couple little odds and ends here. You got your packages here. Do you want to start the update now? Oh, that's kind of cool. Do you want to create a... Well, sure. Create a snapshot for me. ML4W initial. What's it using, I wonder? Just installing about 1,000 more packages so we can back up our system. But damn it, does it look good. That's all that matters. There's two types of Linux desktop users. There's the minimal guys that just get shit done, and then there's the people that sit there and rice their computers for years, sometimes decades. Which one are you? Sure. Why is it installing NVIDIA through Flatpak? It's kind of odd. Yeah, and only 99,000 dependencies needed, half of which are in the AUR. What could go wrong? Ah. All right, nice. Update complete. Pavu control, very nice. Blues, nice. Just using NMTUI. I mean, it works. All right. Screen shader, what? Toggle, oh. Oh. Gross. Screen locking. Huh. Clipboard manager. I won't pull that up on stream. And power menu. Sidebar menu. Speaker mic. Okay. Oh, wow. God bless. This guy put in a lot of work to make this as clean as it is. I mean, it's very, very good. I am impressed. That this much work was put into it. Okay. Well, I mean, I'm using Bash. We've got pretty much all the tools I use on here. It's not terrible. The Rofi menu, I'm not a huge fan of, but I guess it kind of matches the design of this. I probably would change this. I probably would look for a different Rofi theme. But everything else is pretty good. Like from a ricing standpoint, this is a nice starting spot. The borders and gaps do look crazy, but the person that uses this type of setup typically uses like a really light opacity, so then you can see the background. So it's less about what's actually on the screen and more about like, look at how cool my setup looks. Again, that's just the type of user that would use this type of thing. It's really cool looking and it feels pretty good, albeit a little slow. Yeah, and if you're on here, I think you could actually just use like a Paru S ML4W. Let's do a search real fast. ML4W was the dot files. And you could just do an ML4W hyperland right here. And this is going to get this script that I just ran. So probably the easiest way to do it would be just like a Paru S ML4W hyperland, and then it would set up everything for you. I kind of want to just roll with it for a week or two just to see if it just breaks like I think it will. You know? And I think the big thing here is if it does break, it's not that big a deal. We still have DWM we could always fall back onto, which we know that'll work because it doesn't depend on anything for the most part. It can't break. It does backups. Yeah, I think that's cool. So that's pretty much the command. If you want to replicate this, I highly recommend doing it in a VM. Well, no, you can't use it in a VM because you can't use Hyperland in a VM first. Do backups. Do a really good system backup before you do this. And then I say try it out. See what you think. I think it's a really cool project. The ML4W guy put in a ton of work to make all this happen and look as clean as it does. And I think it's really cool. Obviously, like borders and other stuff I can set up here in a bit, probably hack around and mess with it. But I really do like how he set things up. And what was the bar again? I think this was the AGS bar at the top, what we're using. And then we have, this is Alacrity for terminal, but it did allow for some customization in this script, which was cool. I didn't know that that's how it was set up when you do the base one. I highly recommend staying away from the Git, just using this one, as it did end up using Hyperland. Oh, let's do a paru QM. And let's just grep hyper. Oh, okay. Let's try to grep hyper. All right. Let's just do a Q. And we're going to grep hyper. So it is using these ones. So not very much. This is what was from the AUR. Everything here is pretty much stable packages. So as my initial critique of the ML4 docs was I was using the Git, and man, it would just grab everything bleeding edge, which is a huge problem. But this is actually using all of these with proper configs, and you can tweak it to your needs. If you're going to use Hyperland, I think I can't think of a better starting spot than the ML4W docs, dot files. After sitting here banging my head against the wall for what, 3 or 4 streams now? I don't even know. And not getting a really good result where it just looked anything like this. It all just looked and felt like crap to me. This actually does look and feel pretty good. And the fact that all the scripts and everything are made, like this is a fancy wrapper with just a huge thing of scripts behind it. I think that's pretty awesome. I do wonder, there's probably like a key somewhere to show us our, well, let's see. Help or ML4W. Yeah. Settings. Okay, this is the settings app. ML4W welcome app. And then all key bindings. So then we have this. So wallpaper, change wallpaper, super shift W. Open wallpaper, super control W. Set random wallpaper, super alt W. So let's go super alt W. Did it just have to kill everything to change the wallpaper? Okay. Super shift W? Shit, did I already break it? Oh, God bless. Okay. Well, that's okay. We're going to reboot right here. You know, I was a Windows user for more than 20 years. Sometimes you just got to reboot. Yeah. Just got to reboot to change the wallpaper. Nothing Linuxy about that. It's okay. For everybody watching in the future, just comment down below. Say skill issue. Alrighty. Wallpaper's part of the kernel now. I do want to try the wallpaper command one more time. I'm going to try the Super Shift W this time and see if that nets us a better result. So, I think it'll be okay. All right. Cool. So for our wallpaper, we have the dark void here. So we're just going to go Super Shift W. Okay. That's a wallpaper. Ugly wallpaper from my choosing. Super Shift W again. Okay, we're good. Wait. Oh, wait. Shit. I didn't do anything. I just pressed Super Shift W. Okay. Little low. Careful. It's like, hands off the keyboard, okay? It's like a house of cards. All right, here we go. Super Shift W. Worked. Okay, Super Shift W is what you want. That's, that works. Okay. I like it. Oh, nice touch. Okay, look. It's red. Super Shift W. Come on, don't fail me now. Don't break. We're just changing wallpapers here, man. You're beautiful. You're beautiful. Hang in there. Promise I'm not going to reload you with Debian as soon as I... Just give me another wallpaper. Okay. We're back in business. Okay. Oh, close. A little sketch changing the wallpaper, but that's okay. So it takes the primary color and sets it as the border. That's a nice touch. That's all right. Super Shift W again. You can do it. Change that wallpaper. Change it. You got this. Maybe. Sitting about a 20 or 30% failure rate on changing the wallpaper. But just sticking with Super Shift W seems to work. All right, pressed it again. All right, we're good again. Okay. So then we got this. So it picks like a, finds the alpha color between the whole wallpaper and sets it at the border. That's cool. I mean, I'm sure I just made a bunch of 20-year-olds in the audience super happy with this. But there's not a chance in hell anybody over the age of 40 is going to be using this. that actually needs to get work done. I should say. There's probably some retired people that are like, you know what? That's cool. I can really browse the web with amazing ease and reliability on that. That'll display one hell of a web browser. Right there. Oh, man. I'm going to keep using it. I'm going to keep using it. We're going to keep going until I break it. Oh, how much memory are we using? Someone just mentioned in chat. Shit. Oh, man. Okay. Okay, that's got to be like my Windows instance, huh? That's a lot. Not for the faint of heart, but that's okay. I bet you. Let's shut down old Windows because that seems excessive, obviously. So Windows has to be planned into that. Yeah, this is all ML4Ws dot files. I've just changed some basic key bindings just for my own sanity, so nothing else. All right, Windows is shut off. We're shut off. I didn't want any other VMs. So what do we got for a base config? Okay. 2.7 gigs. And we also have this open. So this should be better. 2 gigs on the memory. Okay. It does seem to be working better since I shut down my VM. Okay. It's not bad. So that's so roughly 2.14 gigs. Just for comparison's sake, let's log out, right? Here, let's exit. Let's switch over to DWM. Okay. Yeah, you're going to drop some. Although, let's do a pkill user Titus. Although I want to say DWM is usually like considerably less than that. So maybe there's some other shenanigans going on here. Let's just log back in one more time. No, that's still close to 2. So obviously you're going to get more than Hyperlink. Hyperlink's going to be a lot more in memory, but not terrible. So we'll quit out of that. Just jump back into Hyperland. 2.1. It's livable. So switching over to Hyperland. Two gigs, yes. What is Cosmic? It's true. What is Cosmic? Let's look at Cosmic. So 2.1 over here. DWM is 1.8. This is probably apps I'm running in the background. So let's go pkill user Titus. This is going to kill all apps that are running that not on the system level, but from a user level. Let's switch over to Cosmic and test it out. Now, I would imagine Cosmic would be more than all of them. Did it just die? Hey, you're not allowed to die yet. I need to know the memory readout for Cosmic. Come on, I promise. I promise. I promise, old gal. It'll be okay. I'm not going to reload you again. Probably not. All right. Well. A little bit of an issue. Small, did Hyperland kill Cosmic? Could have. Yes. Okay, I'll be in a minute. All right, let's reboot and see if we can't launch Cosmic. It's okay. It's okay. We're fine. Totally fine. All right. We're booting back into Hyperland here. But now Vaxry did talk mad shit on on Cosmic. So I didn't see how that any of the stuff he wrote about Cosmic was at all warranted, especially with all the problems Hyperland has. Obviously, being an alpha state, it has bugs. But as we've seen on this stream, Hyperland isn't exactly the easiest thing to configure either. So, yeah. Same thing about the glass house earlier and throwing rocks. I don't think he's in any place to critique the Cosmic team. Anyways, all right. So here is our Hyperland. All right, here's the Hyperland configuration. Let's see if we can quit out and launch into Cosmic again. All right, here we go. Cosmic. Yeah, there we go. There's Cosmic. Okay, so now I anticipate this being about 2 gigs, right? Oh, that's the VM. That's the VM loading up. Let's kill that. Correct? Let's go. Vertman. I'm really enjoying this. I am really enjoying the Hyperland Cosmic kind of back and forth a little bit. At the end of the day, I think I'll still end up in DWM for the time being. I think I'm going to try and roll Hyperland as long as I can. But with my current config, it does not feel very good. DWM feels like a gajillion times better just out of the gate. However, I'm not going to stop. I'm not going to stop using it. I think it's neat. Come on. Yeah, I feel like DWL's next. Hyperland from scratch. If I could get like a Hyperland from scratch would be good too. I really do like the AGS configuration specifically on the Hyperland config. Now this is Cosmic. So Cosmic from scratch, 2.73 is what I'm showing. Now we might be able to get that down. Just one more login here. With Cosmic, we'll log out, log back in one more time. Yeah, 2.59, 2.65. So right in there. So I did anticipate Cosmic being the heaviest because it's a full-blown desktop environment, where our Hyperland config is technically just a window manager with a bunch of extra tools like Hyper Paper, Hyper Cursor, Hyper, good Lord, fill in the blank Hyper. But it's like roughly 8 to 10 programs on Hyperland where you got all that kind of bundled in to do all the things. And then Cosmic's obviously even more than that because you have all the ease of use and control panels and everything. So it's a full-blown desktop environment from Cosmic. And then my choice, obviously still DWM because it's just one binary, and Rofi. It does use Rofi. And I'll probably reinstall my Rofi config. You know, I'll probably just do like a curl. So all the stuff that I really like, I would put in my Linux toolbox, and I probably would just reset my Rofi prompt right here. Rux, thanks for the resub, man. So I just wanted to set my Rofi prompt back. So now if I went like Rofi, show drun, it would show my Rofi menu. So cool, neat. So yeah, out of all of them, I would say Hyperland is, if you're using ML4W docs, I think it's cool. I still would like a more minimal Hyperland setup so it doesn't feel so jank or like laggy kind of, I guess. I'd say between all of them, Hyperland still feels the worst, but it looks the best now. With the ML4W docs, I would say Hyperland looks better than any of these set side by side. So from a look standpoint, #1 Hyperland. From a function standpoint, man, you're not going to beat DWM. It's so minimal and it just so bleeding. It's just so fast. It just will always be my #1. And then Cosmic kind of just sits in between them, where it has probably the most sane user defaults and anybody can configure it, and it's just so readily accessible. I think it just needs more polish, obviously, and coming out of the alpha state into more of a full release. I think it will be the one most users will pick. But I still think that Hyperland could look more beautiful than all of them, as we've seen in every Rice. Just, it doesn't feel good to me. It really doesn't. Hyperland, maybe I think disabling animations might help. And there's definitely a way to configure Hyperland so it feels better. I just haven't gotten there yet. I'll keep at it. I'll keep hitting it, because I love all these projects. I know, please don't take anything I've said today where I've like completely like ranted and raved and like, this is terrible user experience. I just say those things just be like, hey, I love all these projects. They're great. I don't want to discourage anyone from making projects. I just want to give like real feedback and just kind of tell you what I'm feeling while I'm trying all these new things, because there's a good chance that somebody else out there is kind of feeling and kind of experiencing the same thing. So yeah, that's the whole purpose of these streams, is just to kind of go, they're not really meant to be 10-minute videos on YouTube. Otherwise I'd just get constant. Oh my God, I can only imagine the hate comments. But yeah, it was fun. It's fun. But all right, Nugget's getting cold. I got to get out of here. Peace all. I'll see y'all tomorrow for tomorrow's stream. We'll see what kind of shenanigans we get into then. All right, y'all. Love you. Bye.